This is Galib Ibrahima, and I'm here with my mom.
Alamisi Uronyeni.
Okay, I would like to interview you on the rights you had growing up in Togo and compare them to rights I have had growing up in the U.S. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
Okay, here's the first question. I was wondering, growing up in Togo as a woman constitutionally, did you have the right to vote? If so, at what age?
Yes, I had the right to vote, and at the age of 18.
Okay. Here's the second question. When there was injustice growing up, did you ever go out to protest? And were you allowed to?
No, my parents didn't allow me to go out and protest. They will always say nothing will change. Don't go out and get yourself killed, because most of the protests, the police will just end up beating people. So they always discourage us to go out and protest.
All right. The third question is, about 2 years ago, I recall you went out with some Togolese friends to protest at the Utah Capitol against current President Faure Gnassingbé. Why was this so important to you?
It was so important to me because I felt like when I was in Togo, my voice wasn't. I didn't have my voice heard because of given the circumstances. Even though we were voting, technically end up with nothing, because there was always fraud and things like that, and we end up having the same president over and over. So the current president's dad stayed in the power for almost 40 some years, and after his death, his son became a president. Now it's almost 20 years now. The Faure Gnassingbé is being in power, and there's no change. People are suffering. So since in America, I saw that every time there is something, there is a protest, there is a sort of a change. So I want to make sure that my voice is heard. So that's my motivation to go and protest.
Okay. Okay, the next question is, as a Togolese woman, how easy was it to come across a job, and did most women work?
As Togolese women, it wasn't easy to get a job. And it's hard as a woman because the culture-wise, people think as women, your place is to go in the kitchen, and by the time you are 18, they were talking to you to get married, and so it wasn't easy.
Okay, interesting. The next question would be, when were you allowed to drive, and if so, at what age?
It's when I moved here at the age of 23. That's when I had a chance to get my driver's license and drive. It's not that the women are not allowed to drive, but it's again, economically, people are suffering, so you cannot afford to go to get your driver's license, let alone buying a car. So there are a few handful people who are driving, but I didn't have opportunity to drive until I moved here.
Okay. What is the education like in Togo? How was college viewed to you when you were growing up? Did you think you were going to make it?
To be honest, no, because the structure in school is very difficult. Teachers were not patient. So if you are not like smart, I mean, the little explanation they give you, you have to be smart to get it figured out, because most of the teachers are not patient with a student. So if you don't understand, for example, on math, it's a very, very hard. They shame you, or they can beat you in class, and then you just get discouraged. So that's why I didn't think I could make it. And thanks God, since I moved here, I pursued my education at the U now. So yes, it's I'm glad I'm not giving up, because the experience that I had growing up going to school wasn't too pleasant. But I decided to just keep going now here. So
All right. Thank you for your time today with me.
Yes, you're welcome. Good luck.
After this interview with my mom, I realized despite our obvious differences such as education, job availability, right to protest, etc., my mom and I share some similarities after observing these questions. The first similarity is the right to vote is 18 in both of our respective backgrounds. The other similarity is more important because I believe it is an issue that occurs all across the world. That similarity is police brutality. Police brutality was an issue when my mom was growing up in Togo. As she said, her parents always said nothing will change and don't go out and get yourself killed because most of the protests, the police would end up beating people. After having heard this description, I related it to the recent acts of police brutality we have seen specifically towards African Americans. These circumstances are similar because my mom's parents had a talk with her as to why she shouldn't protest. The reasoning behind the talk portrays her parents' fear of the police brutality in Togo. Similar to this, I believe there is a talk that has occurred more and more in African American households about how to steer clear of police brutality. This talk also demonstrates the parents' fear of their son or daughter potentially becoming victim to police brutality. I believe police brutality is a bigger issue now more than ever. According to CBSNews.com, in the first 8 months of 2020, police have killed 164 black people. The police have killed at least one black man or woman every week in 2020. This is what prompts the quote-unquote talk in African American households and the fear of parents. We need change not only in the U.S. or Togo, but all over the world.